Welcome back to FallingFoxGaming, everybody. I'm your host Blaine, and today we're going to be playing some more Starbound Frackin Universe. We are picking up pretty much right where we left off last time, and I would like to do a little bit of a recap just to kind of clarify everything that's been going on, because we found ourselves in a little bit of a weird situation. Up until now, we haven't really progressed our weapons, our armor, or even our tech trees at all. We've been pretty stagnant in all that, and that has kind of pushed us into progressing really slowly. Our workbenches have lagged behind, and we really don't have anything in the way of kind of like sustaining ourselves. We're just kind of, surviving at this point, and I would like to change that. Our main goal is to actually start doing colonies for King Mechas, and this is the first planet where we could probably do that. And I want to focus on that today. But in order to do that, I want to explain how we fell behind and how we can fix that. The big thing that we have right now is that we can't advance any of the workbenches we need to because we're missing titanium for whatever reason. And I'm not really sure why we haven't collected titanium up to this point, but we haven't. We have everything before and a bunch of stuff after titanium, but we don't have titanium itself. So it's actually holding us back quite a lot. So the very first thing that we're going to do today is we're actually going to take a look and figure out why we don't have titanium. Well, that only took about 8 seconds as I went up to our ship and looked at the planet, and there's no titanium on this planet. That is a complete and utter facepalm for myself, as I should have realized that from the start, but apparently I did not. Thankfully, I found a planet that does have titanium, and it's one we can go to. And here's the ironic twist. It's our home planet. So we get to finally go home and say hi to King Mechas and see how things are going there, which is actually a good thing because we need to talk to him about a couple things. Primarily, we need to see if we can actually get some decorations and some furniture and stuff from them, so that way we can actually decorate a colony for them when we eventually start to build one. So let's just go ahead and swing by our home planet and see how things are going there and see if it's worth taking the time to collect titanium now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually pretty excited to be back here. It's nice to see kind of where we came from, and it's nice to see like where we got our start from. These are the people that gave us our ship, which is obviously something we're very thankful for. And obviously, because we're here, we need to stop and say hi to King Mechas and let him know that things are going well and that we plan on building him a colony soon. But of course, the real reason we're here is to get ourselves titanium, and we need to make sure we keep that as our top priority the entire time we are here. Though I will admit, I'm curious to see how good our new weapon does against these older enemies. And it looks like we have some titanium right here, so that's a good way to start this mission. I hope it stays this good. Okay. One of these guys. We fought one of these once before, right? This is that crazy thing we managed to get stuck and then we end up killing it that way. Let's see how much damage you do now to him. Ha ha ha! One shot. Now, I don't actually know the best place to get titanium. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to do just a little bit of hopping around here. And then we're just going to probably go underground, because I imagine that's probably the best place to collect it. So I haven't really found much titanium, so I'm just going to go ahead and head underground and see if we can find anything down here. Now, there's a couple caverns that I've seen floating about here, and I think we could probably get ourselves an easy way down. Well, not that it's going to be too much help, because it's like a tier 3 item, but we did find this cool like little flat cannon thing. And we also found ourselves a magic wand. It says an ice wand. Oh, so I create like a little like ice bubble you think. Whoa, it bounces. Oh, that's kind of neat. Not incredibly useful, but neat nonetheless. And we also found like an assault rifle. Again, these are all tier 3, so they're not going to be tremendously useful, but hey, better than nothing. One thing I will say, we've gotten very lucky. Most of this planet seems to be this clay stuff, and we can dig through it super fast and super easily. So we've actually managed to collect a decent amount of titanium, along with some of this like tungsten and a few other materials that are really, really easy to get to, because clay is extremely easy to get through. And almost like it's fate, we found ourselves another portal challenge door. We have to redeem ourselves. We have to try and get through this one. So let's give this one a shot and hope it doesn't end up like the other one. Okay, for those of you that have never seen these before, let me explain what they are really quick. So when you're adventuring, you can find these little pocket dimension doors, and what they do is they bring you into a little challenge dungeon where you can't modify the terrain, but you have to use your platforming skills to kind of complete like a little puzzle or a dungeon, like a mini challenge area. It's pretty simple most of the time. In this case, it looks like it's mostly just avoiding the laser beams, the fire, and the boulder, but sometimes it can contain a lot more stuff. So let's just see if we can do this one to redeem ourselves from last time. Now, from the looks of it, this one doesn't seem to be too hard. It's mostly just counting the little laser beams and following the pattern. Though you do want to be careful, because sometimes if you have a game that runs a little bit laggy on like an old computer or anything, the timing on the laser beams can be a little bit tricky. And this one is really... Oh, wait. Is this it? Okay. This might be the shortest one I've ever done. Like, is this basically done already? Yeah, it looks like it's just these two levers, and then we're pretty much done. Alright. Open the door, and there we go. Okay, so I guess that's completed. Let's see what we get for it. An Oculus Reaver. Oh, a tier 4 sword. That might actually be pretty decent. And then we got a motivator. It's a carrot on a stick on your head. That's great. I love that. And yeah, I guess that's it for this one. And they put us back here without the door being here. So yeah, so they must have felt bad for us dying so easily on the other one. And I'm thinking that we might actually end up with a scenario where we might overdo it on the titanium by a lot, because I've collected a decent amount. I think we're going to end up overdoing it on what we're collecting, but that's okay. Any things that we kind of like overdo is probably a good thing for ore anyways. It just means more stuff we don't have to do later on. So I've returned to the castle here because I thought this would be a fitting place to unlock our research for our geology stuff, the titanium. I believe it takes a couple pieces of ore, just 1 ore, and 300 research, which we have plenty of. And we can now craft titanium bars. So let's go see how many of those we can make. Oh, we can only do that on the planet because that's where our little temp base is. Okay, 1 second. Well, as the saying goes, if there's something worth doing, it's worth overdoing. We got ourselves 60 titanium bars out of all that, and we still have a bunch of ore left over, so we're doing pretty good on titanium. That is a really good planet for it, so a dry grassland if you're ever looking for titanium. Wonderful planet to go to, especially if there's a clay biome. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade our crafting stations here because we have plenty of the resources to do so. And I actually forgot to upgrade our research for our titanium. So we need 10 bars to unlock the tier 3 titanium items, which in turns mean we can also do the Durasteel research, which will be tier 4, I believe it is. Yeah, tier 4 armor and weapons. And currently that's about as far as we can go because we don't have the other materials to actually upgrade our workbenches. Now I do believe that if we look through the research trees, we can definitely unlock all the stuff we need to. It's just a matter of going through all the different research trees and making sure we have things unlocked. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off screen at a little bit later date. But right now I just want to kind of take a look at where we're at. So we have our workbench and our armor forge upgraded, which means we might be able to make some EPPs here too. And in case you don't know, EPPs are like backpacks that allow you to handle certain environments. I think for now, we're doing pretty good on the research. I think that's a good upgrade. We got our stuff that we needed to. I think it's time to take a look and plan out our next big adventure, which is going to be setting up the first colony. So I think honestly, this spot right here is pretty much perfect. All we have to do is cut down these trees, maybe flatten the ground a little bit, and I think we have a perfect spot to set up a little keep where we can house multiple people. But to do that, I have to actually go back to our, hey, what are you doing? Ah, get out of here. To do that, I actually have to go back up to our ship and grab some more pickaxes because we're almost out. This is probably going to take a little bit of a while, so I'm just going to kind of skip ahead to show you guys the progress. Okay, so I went a little overboard and did a whole bunch of landscaping. But I kind of looked at this as this is going to kind of fill up the entire space. So I think the blueprint of our little keep here is going to take up a good majority of the space. I'm thinking that we'll probably do like a basement layer right here. That's going to be, you know, stone and everything like that. And then we'll work our way up. Now, I don't know how tall we're going to make this. We might not make it super tall just because resources might be an issue. But we do have a drill, so that should hopefully help speed up the process of collecting stone. Now, thankfully, once again, we are fortunate and we have a ton of stone on this planet. So pretty much everything from here going west is stone. So now it's all just about mining and taking a while to do that. So once again, we're going to blink and things are going to be done. All right, so as it turns out, stone is relatively slow to mine. Thankfully, it wasn't that difficult. It's actually a really easy area. There's no bad guys or anything here, so it's just more of a little bit of a time sink. But in this little area alone, just right here, we managed to collect 824 cobblestone. I am hoping that's going to be enough to make something decent. Let's go find out if we can actually turn that stone into any kind of brick or anything. Alright, well, fun thing I just discovered. We actually had a whole bunch of cobblestone, a full stack of it actually laying around too. So we actually have 1,824 cobblestone, which means we could times each one of those by 5 to make a whole bunch of bricks, or we could kind of pop down here and spend 5 cobblestone to make 20 heavy stone bricks, which might look really cool if we do that. Now, granted, we could also do some of these other like special kind of things if we really wanted to, just because we have a whole bunch of miscellaneous materials from all the different places we've gone. But I think for the sake of this, we're going to stick to the basic stone and cobblestone bricks. But I think we're going to make a bunch of heavy stone bricks and then a bunch of cobblestone bricks and just kind of go from there. And I see a bug up here. Hold on. I like collecting bugs. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I'm going to do something with them at some point. Aha! A frost fly. Oh, that's a new one. Neat. Ah! Get out of here! Yeah! Oh, come on. Go! Die away. Okay, got him. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start by laying down a big, thick foundation. Now, I want to do 2 deep because I think that just looks better. I think that looks like a real foundation if we do it like this. Now, I have a lot of stone, so I'm not too worried about running out at the moment. But we also have, where is it? I did find these small stone blocks to go along with the cobblestone ones, so if we don't like them, we can make them. We also have a whole bunch of these stone platforms, so we have a whole bunch of stuff that we can do. So I'm not worried about how this is going to look. I think it's going to look good at the end of the day. Now let's take a look and see. So cobblestone looks kind of broken up. These small stone bricks look really nice. We'll probably go with something like that. And then what is actually, can we make this into a wall to see what this looks like? Oh, it probably looks like that, but just as, you know, background. So that's probably going to be good too. So I think if we start with the outer wall being the thick, heavy stone. Okay, so I'm going to work here and I'm going to try and figure out like a basic shell of a building I want to work with, and then we'll come back. Okay, so I think we're going to start with something like this. Now we could do the heavy stone as a background there to make it look nice, and the heavy stone as a background there to look nice. So I think that kind of makes our general fortification area look kind of nice. Now we're going to make this taller, obviously, but I think I want to focus on making sure we have a good solid first floor before going up. I'm not going to lie, I kind of like the idea of doing the heavy stone for the entire first floor. Now I don't have any other light sources, so they're going to have to deal with the torches being the light source. Hopefully they don't mind. And just go with something like that. Maybe we should build like, maybe like a little like plate like that to kind of protect the torches from the weather. Make it look kind of fancy too. Okay, with the first floor basically set up, I think we need to do some kind of second floor right off the bat. I don't actually know what I'm doing, in case you're wondering. I am just making this up as I go along, so. Alright, I think that looks pretty good for a tower. Not amazing by any means, but I think they get the general idea. Oh man, I need to make like stairs up here so I don't like fall to my death. This is sketchy. Okay, so let's build some real stairs before we end up killing ourselves, because I've already almost done that a couple times. There, so something like that I think is a good entryway to this little tower. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and just build a staircase all the way up. And I'll skip that so you guys don't have to watch and see me just do this like inch by inch. And then when I screw up, then you can, you know, watch me undo my mistake. Okay, so I think that is good for the stairs. Now let's just go ahead and finish up with our accents of our background. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with how this looks so far. I think it's turned out really nice. I am gonna probably have enough blocks to do everything I want, I think, just looking at this. Alright, as you can see, I clearly made a modification because I think we're going to build another little structure right here to add in more living space for the people here. Now, I think all we really need to do is basically build like kind of like a living area. So if we consider the downstairs part kind of like where the guards will be, and then the upper area is like the living space and a place for like a merchant. I think the merchant will probably be in the tower here. I think that just makes the most sense. And then have the other areas being like living space. Now, I'm going to kind of go up as far as I can to build this, because I do want this to be kind of a large living space. Something like that, I think. And this is what we ended up with so far. Now, I do have to break this up into living quarters because just the way the game works and how the colony deeds work, I'm going to have to split this up into a couple different areas. So we're going to have 2 guards, so they will share the bottom space. So we're going to have to create some type of wall here. Now, I don't care about it being perfectly symmetrical, but I am going to give the side on the left a little bit more room because it does have the stairway right there. Technically, that should be good for 2 guards, 1, 2, and then, ooh, I don't know if they'll count this as a separate space as the tower because of the floor right here. I might have to modify this a little bit to give ourselves a separate area. Maybe I'll have to make like a door right here going out and then coming in right here just to kind of add a separate living space. Yeah, let's just do that now so we don't have to worry about it later. Okay, so as you can see, I changed things up just a little bit here. I have settled on this general layout. So we have 2 separate individual rooms up here. A bigger room, the tower room, which will be the shopkeeper, the 2 guard chambers down there, and I think that will cover everything I want to for a colony here. I kind of smartened up and I decided to go back and get some furniture from the glitch people so that way I can actually have authentic furniture here. Let's just start decorating. We'll start by doing the 2 general rooms first. I think we're going to do kind of a generic layout for like say a table and a chair to give them their own little like office space to work with. And then I have a couple of bookshelves actually. So this way they'll each have their own like personal little like workspace / office, whatever you want to call it. I think that is probably good enough. And then we just need a light source. And because I didn't actually grab any light sources from the glitch area, we're just going to kind of go with something like a torch off the end of a bookshelf because that's safe. Oh yeah, then I can't forget the banners that I bought. And here we are, our first 2 colonists. Now they're going right outside, that's probably going to get them killed, but you know, I guess that's their own choice. I had to get rid of the bookshelves because every time I had the bookshelf in there, it spawned merchants. So we had to get rid of those, but that's okay. We'll just go with these guys. I could just throw up the bookshelves now that they're here, but I just kind of actually like the way those rooms are laid out currently. You can also see that I have the banners down here. I forgot to mention I had those, but that'll add some nice little decoration to it. I'm probably going to add banners into all the other rooms too. So I'm going to do just a little bit of decorating now that we know that this is working properly, and then we'll see where we're at in the end. Alright, after a little bit of tinkering around, we have an update here. So we have a couple new tenants. We have our merchant here who has moved in and they sell tier 5.6 stuff. So we don't really have to go underground anymore because they thankfully sell pretty much the same stuff as we're looking for to upgrade our gear. We have ourselves a lord that moved in, so apparently they are happy with it. And we put some beds in here just in case they want to rest, if I don't know if they rest or not. And then, you know, if any travelers come by or guests. So we have kind of everything set up other than the guards. Now, our little merchant area up here is kind of a cluster because the game really did not want me to get a glitch merchant in. Just a little bit of advice for anybody that is trying to do this, and if you keep getting that human merchant that I kept getting, I had to actually get rid of the bookshelf. When I got rid of the bookshelf, actually it started spawning in normal people, but if I had the bookshelf down when I tried to put the colony D down, it only spawned a human merchant that wanted to really sell me a chainsaw. So just some advice for the future. Now, the last couple things that we need to do is to try and get some guards in here. Okay, and it looks like we got kind of lucky after shoving down a whole bunch of weapon and armor displays. We got 2 what look to be decent guards, both of them glitch, named Bravebolt and Nightblade. Oh yeah, and then Free March, and who's the other guy? Starmail, and we're missing one other person. Who's the other person? Star Oak. So that is our first little colony. I have to say I'm very pleased with it. I was not expecting this to go as easy as it did, but I actually was able to collect most of the stuff with very little effort, so that is a really good thing for us. The glitch castle where King Mechas is has a merchant that sells a bunch of this stuff, so this was super easy to collect, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna take advantage of it as much as I can because it is really handy having this stuff just on hand to make our next colony. The only thing we're missing is I'm gonna put a teleporter around here somewhere, maybe really close to this rather than downstairs here in the basement, because I'm not gonna lie, it gets really annoying having to go down there over and over and over again. So I might actually just fix up this little place into like a little teleporter room just to make it easier for us and them in the future. So there you go, there is our entire first colony. We have a couple of residents along with a lord, a couple of guards, and then a pretty awesome merchant. So I'm very happy with this. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you guys think this is good enough to count as our first colony. If you think we should do more, I'll do more. Otherwise, if not, I'm going to count this as our first colony completed, and then next time we'll talk to King Mechas and let him know that we're basically done with our first planet. So we're going to end it here. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you liked this episode, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.